Yes, sir. The first thing I'd like to talk about a little bit is our finances. We're through October. We're about a third of the way through the fiscal year. We've collected 36% of our total budgeted revenue, and we've either spent or encumbered about 30% of our budgeted expenses. This represents the money which has either been spent or collected across the 6 major operating funds. When we compare these collections to the same time frame as last year, we see that we've collected about 5% more than we did in 2012-13. The areas we're seeing the largest increases are in collections are intergovernmental revenues or grants, licenses and permits, and investment income and transfers in. All other areas have shown at least some portion of a decline for the same time frame as last year. Expenses reflect about a 9% decrease from this same time frame as last year. Personnel expenses are just slightly less than the same time frame as last year. When we combine the areas of materials and supplies and other services and charges, we're seeing about a 36% decrease in expenses over those two control areas. We spent about $115,000 more in capital improvements from last year, and we've spent about $87,000 more in either debt service or transfers out than last year. If you're interested in the equipment that we bought, please refer to your financial page where we've listed out everything, and you can kind of see everything that we have purchased so far this year. Through October of 2013, we show that we have, over our 6 major funds, we've collected about $573,000 more than we've spent. As far as projects are concerned that we've got going on, staff continues to work with Myers Engineering and the Oklahoma Department of Environmental Quality to navigate the permitting process for our new transfer station. We've had to make a few changes on this to get it out of the 100-year floodplain. We've moved the building around a little bit, made a few other minor modifications like that. We've needed to add a small office/restroom area, and we'll need to run a potable water line to the building for sanitary reasons. We're currently waiting on the Oklahoma Department of Environmental Quality to approve the plans for the building and the site. We also have to publish a public notice about the site and the legal description, how it's going to operate, and information like that. And ODEQ has to approve that public notice before we can actually publish it, and we're waiting on that. Talk a little bit about the Oklahoma Tax Commission. In December, the city of Alva will be receiving its proportional share of a $1.2 million statewide rebate. This comes as a 3-year effort between the Oklahoma Municipal League's Oklahoma Tax Commission Liaison Board and the Oklahoma Tax Commission. The main focus of the Liaison Board is to improve accountability and communications with the Oklahoma Tax Commission. Right in one of the projects the Liaison Board is currently working on is to get, with OTC, is to get House Bill 1875 passed. House Bill 1875 reduces the retention fee paid by municipalities by 1/2. Currently, our agreement with the Oklahoma Tax Commission says that they can collect a retention fee out of the money that they are collecting on our behalf of either for anywhere from 1.5% to 1 3/4%. House Bill 1875 establishes a maximum retention fee cities and towns would pay to OTC at 0.5%. Based on what we are currently collecting, or what we have collected over the past 12 calendar months in sales tax, that would mean an additional $26,777 to the city of Alva. So any communications that you may have with your representatives, please ask them to support House Bill 1875. We were notified on November 6th that it was time for an ISO rating review. The fire department is working on that to get the paperwork going and get the paperwork turned in for that review. It's a little earlier than what we would have liked, but they're moving to a 5-year review requirement, and it's been 5 years since our last review. We expect this process to take about 4 to 5 months to complete. Current job openings that we have right now are sanitation worker 2, street worker, and water sewer worker 1. Some of the meetings that we have coming up, we've got new elected officials institute that I think 4 of you are scheduled to go to at the Woodward Convention Center in Woodward on November 21st. We also have the 2013 OML Regional District Dinner at the Convention Center in Woodward on the same day. I would encourage everybody to attend if they are so inclined. The meeting topic, it'll be a good meal. It'll be a chance for you to network with some of the other council members throughout the region. The topic for the discussion that evening will be House Bill 1875 and the work that the liaison board's been doing with the Oklahoma Tax Commission. I do want to point out that the one-time rebate that we're getting and House Bill 1875 are 2 separate issues. They are not related. Some of the work that the liaison board has done over the past couple of years has pointed out where the tax commission has not spent the money they have collected from us on our behalf, and that's the main reason for that one-time rebate. One of the other meetings that we have is immediately following this one is a Park and Building Committee meeting. And that will be immediately following this council meeting. One other project that we've got going on is our water wellfield maintenance. Staff met with Northwest Electric last week to outline the work which needs to be done at the wellfield to prepare them for generator hookup. Currently, there are about 8 wells that we can get wired together and have pads there and move down 2 generators and operate those 8 wells. An oversimplification of what this will look like is that we'll have a bank of switches in 2 different locations. We'll back a generator up there, hook the generator up, throw a switch, and that cuts us off of the REA electricity, which would have been down anyway, but we don't want to backfeed into the line. That's a hazard. So it separates our generator from this REA until they get operational. And then when REA is operational, we go back down there, we throw the switch, we turn the generator off, and we hook back up to REA electric. This would get us miles ahead of where we're at today. Staff is currently building the pedestals for the switches. Northwest Electric's been asked to locate wire, get wire and get the switches coming so we can get that done here relatively quickly. It's also time for our monthly street progress report. As we slow down the street progress until spring, the main thing I want to do is kind of recap everything we've done since July. We've done a chip and seal on Flynn Street from 10th to the city cemetery. We've done a chip and seal on Flynn Street from 3rd Street to Noble. The city started repairs out in the industrial park. Those roads were in need of repair due to the type of road that was constructed and the truck traffic which is on those roads. The street department has completed chip and seal repairs on Hunt Street from Flynn to Barnes, Hunt Street from Church Street to Locust, Sealing Street from Flynn to Church, a half a block on Park Street between Flynn and Barnes, Park Street from Center to Locust, Mino from Oklahoma Boulevard to Flynn, the block on Church Street from Sealing and between Sealing and Hunt. The street department has completed repairs on the 800 block of Hunt Street. They've also completed repair work on the corner of Barnes Street and Sealing. We've completed a slurry seal on 3rd Street from Oklahoma Boulevard to Barnes, 4th Street from Oklahoma Boulevard to Barnes, College Avenue from Oklahoma Boulevard to Church, and 7th Street from Oklahoma Boulevard to Church Street. The city was awarded a $100,000 grant from the Charles Morton Share Trust for street equipment. The equipment which was purchased is a new Craftco crack sealer and a new used steel wheel roller. The city has also purchased a new asphalt zipper to help repair streets and alleys. During the winter months, the city street department will be working on streets to prepare them for repairs next spring. They'll be accumulating rock, cold mix asphalt, and other materials for next spring. They'll be doing crack and seals they'll be sealing cracks over the winter months with the new sealer we bought. They'll also be doing other minor street repairs and patches, along with doing miscellaneous repairs in the alleys. Staff is currently working to wrap up a financing package for city equipment. The total financing package will be about $885,000. The street equipment, which is slated for purchase, is a new oil distributor, a chip spreader, and a front end loader. With the streets that I've mentioned since July to now, the city has done repairs or patches on approximately 34 blocks in the city of Alva. And council members, and Mayor, that would be my report. I'll be happy to answer any questions or try to answer any questions that you may have.
Calling your attention to the nice letter in the packet this evening.
Oh, yes.
We're bragging on our library staff, sanitary staff, so that there were many of us who still very much appreciate the work our local governments are doing. So that's a nice letter of comment. Any other questions or comments for Joe Don? If not, we'll go to item number 5, discussion and action to approve resolution number 2013-069, authorizing application for financial assistance from the REAP fund. And as you know, REAP stands for Rural Economic Action Plan. Joe Don, tab 5.
Yes, this is in the background information I've given you. That's not a misprint. The Street and Alley Committee did meet on the evening of November 14th, 2012, about a year ago, and decided to apply for REAP funds for the purpose of repairing the corner of 3rd and Flynn and construct curb and guttering along Locust Street, Church Street, and Center Streets for 2 blocks. This original REAP grant was denied, but the project's still a viable project. The current cost estimates have changed, and for the grant funds, we are estimating $20,622 for materials to repair the 3rd and Flynn Street corner, and the balance of the grant would be $29,378 to be used for materials for the curb and guttering along Locust, Center, and Church Streets. The city would then pay an additional $50,400 for chip and seal materials for those streets. That'd get those streets into similar condition to many of our streets that we've been doing repairs on. You'd bring them from a dirt street to more of a chip and sealed asphalt type street. The estimated labor cost for both projects is approximately $41,131. There is a resolution that needs to be approved by the council for the application, and that is in your packet also. It's resolution number 2013-69. And I'd encourage the approval of that resolution, and we can get this filed by the deadlines that are filed, that we need to get them by the deadlines. I'd be answering any questions that you may have.
I move we approve resolution 2013-069.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Clerk may call the roll.
Brown.
Yes.
Valencia.
Yes.
Bale.
Yes.
Fisher.
Yes.
Benson.
Yes.
Henderson.
Yes.
Reed. Yes. Miller.
Yes.
Item number 6, discussion and action to authorize the purchase of 2 new police cars from Morsemer and Ford in the amount of $26,650 each. And Joe Don.
Yes, these cars were approved during the budget process were slated during the budget process for purchasing, so it's not something that's just come up new. We've been planning on buying these cars. We have chosen the Ford Interceptor as the vehicle of choice. The base price is what we're asking to be approved right now, which is $26,650 per car. One of these cars will be paid out of the general fund. The other car will be paid out of the Alva Police Department Drug Task Force funds. We budgeted about $32,000 a piece for the cars. There is going to be some additional equipment that will have to be purchased. That equipment will be about $3,500 per car. It'll include things like light bars, push bar in the front, equipment like that is not standard on the car. And that would still leave us with budget money left over of what we had anticipated on spending. One of the other things I just put in as a side note, the city's received a reimbursement grant from the state for 2 new radar guns. The cost on those will be about $1,500 each, and like I say, this will be a reimbursement grant. Those 2 radar guns will go in these 2 new police cars when they're received. That's just kind of a side note. But we are asking at this time for you to authorize the purchase of the 2 new cars, with one of the purchases being out of the general fund and the other being out of the drug task force fund.
Joe Don, will this be a supplement to the existing fleet, or will they replace 2 cars currently in service?
This will be a supplement to the vehicles that we have. It'll get us up to 1 vehicle per officer. Right now, we've got, when we get these purchased, and I'll let you know, it will take about 60 to 90 days to get these vehicles in. We'll have 1 vehicle that of our current fleet that'll go toward the school resource officer. But this will get us, when we hire that school resource officer, it'll get us for 1 vehicle per officer.
I notice these are all-wheel drive vehicles. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Help us get around in inclement weather, maybe on Friday. Oh, well, we'll have it by then. Is there a motion then to authorize the purchase of these 2 police vehicles?
And I will say too, this is off the state. The bid price is off the state contract. I forgot to mention that.
Make a motion to authorize the purchase of 2 new police cars from Washburn Ford in the amount of $26,650 each.
Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Clerk may call the roll.
Miller.
Yes.
Hannaford.
Yes.
Creed. Yes. Brown.
Yes.
Jensen.
Yes.
Valencia.
Yes.
Fisher.
Yes.
Lael.
Yes.
And I see that each of them has a 3-year, 36,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty in addition to a 100,000-mile, 5-year drivetrain.
Yeah.
So now do you know which intersections not to drive in when it rains heavy, correct?
Yes.
Item number 7, remarks and inquiries by council members. All-wheel drive, Steve, but no flotation devices.
I just wanted to thank the city and as well as Wes of allowing us to go to the Oklahoma Academy. It was a great experience. We were very glad to go. We went and would encourage anybody to go if there's a topic that interests them. And I think we need more representation from Northwest Oklahoma, considering the numbers that we had. So.
And along that, when we get our final report back in January, we'd like to be on the agenda to present that to the council. We'll get back to you when we receive that.
Got to network with officials and leaders from all over the state.
Joe Don, I hope you would express the appreciation of the council to these 2 employees who were mentioned in this letter for their
I certainly will.
good work.
Any remarks or comments from our citizens today? Okay. Seeing none, that's the last item on the agenda, so we'll close that meeting. Open the meeting of the Utility Authority. Item number 1, discussion and action on the approval of the minutes of the meeting held on November 4th, 2013. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Clerk may call the roll.
Lael.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Valencia.
Yes.
Creed. Yes. Jensen.
Yes.
Fisher.
Yes.
Hannaford.
Yes.
Item number 2, discussion and action on the approval of claims. Mr. Miller?
Yes, Your Honor, make a motion, we approve claims of $99,319.78.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Clerk may call the roll.
Miller.
Yes.
Creed. Yes. Jensen.
Yes.
Hannaford.
Yes.
Valencia.
Yes.
Fisher.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Lael.
Yes.
That's the last item on that agenda, so we'll close that meeting and open the meeting of the Economic Development Authority. Item number 1, discussion and action on the approval of minutes of the meeting held on November 4th, 2013.
I move to approve the minutes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Clerk may call the roll.
Jensen.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Hannaford.
Yes.
Valencia.
Yes.
Lael.
Yes.
Fisher.
Yes.
Creed. Yes.
Item number 2, discussion and action on the approval of claims. Mr. Miller?
Your Honor, I make a motion, we approve claims in the amount of $32,079.04.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Clerk may call the roll.
Miller.
Yes.
Creed. Yes. Fisher.
Yes.
Lael.
Yes.
Jensen.
Yes.
Hannaford.
Yes.
Valencia.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Thank you, and this meeting is adjourned.